Hey guys, Bryant Pangelinan here, owner of Sabre Jiu-Jitsu here in Concord, California. We're back on our talk about belt levels and what it takes and requirements, I would say, as far as that level, but also, the things that I feel are necessary when you get there. The brown belt is huge. It's such a huge jump, in my opinion, because you've removed yourself from that middle of the pack of being a purple belt, right? You refined all your movements at purple belt, and all of a sudden you're just like the Swiss Army knife, where you're just like all those tools and weapons and whatnot. But in my opinion, at brown belt, it's even deeper of refinement versus what you were doing at purple belt. It is an instructor belt level, a professional belt level, but at the same time, you're still a student no matter what, and it's still important to attend class on a regular. It's still important to attend warm-ups inside your team and still interacting and training with those lower belts. And sometimes I feel like guys get to that higher belt level, such as a brown belt, and they kind of steer away from training with the lower belts. Whereas in my opinion, it's really good to still feel what a white belt rolls like, still feel what a blue belt feels like, because you understand those mistakes, and it's all leading back into refinement of yourself. And also, if you become an instructor within the brown, things that you should be able to do physically, you should start to convey them verbally. And a lot of people have those problems when they become instructors, and they flip all over their words, and they're mumbling and they're stumbling, and they're really, it's hard to put whatever's on paper out into action, right? And some people are good, trust me, some people are really good on paper. Some people are really good on a resume, seeing what they've done, but can you sit there and teach that brand new student that walks in the door while still juggling the rest of your class? That to me is more refinement based on what your knowledge and skill set is. But also at the brown belt level, in my opinion, it's like you become very, very dangerous, and that's how I view brown belts. It's like that kind of like that ace in the hole kind of guy or gal, and their maturity level as far as jiu-jitsu is very high. Their intuition and understanding of body mechanics and movement is very high. Not to mention they're just more. I've seen more brown belts that were, I guess you could say, killers than even black belts at times, only because they're at that pinnacle almost, and they've almost reached it. And sometimes the brown belt can be similar to a blue belt in that they have that reason or that want to prove something sometimes when they're rolling. And it's not always the case, but I feel like they come at you a little harder, and they also move a lot more aggressively. But that, again, goes along with the refinement that they had when they were purple belts and growing from that. So don't think that there's much difference as far as the purple and the brown, but I just think the maturity level on the mental side and even the physical side starts to grow more. But also, how I treat my brown belts on this team is kind of a grooming process, in that to when I know they want to continue teaching, I know they want to continue getting, and maybe in the competition side of things, that's a whole other animal, in that you got to be able to speak clear, you got to be able to convey messages, you got to be able to get that rapport with the crowd and be okay with that. And even when you're stumped with whatever messages or question is thrown at you from your group, from the new white belt, or from whatever setting that you are, a seminar or whatnot, and it can be daunting. And that's where you see sometimes, and I've seen it before, where I'm watching or observing a brown belt teacher, and you're like, oh wow, he or she needs to grow a little bit more. But anyway, it's just a growth process, and if you start to build on that, then you'll start to understand, maybe I need to do more refinement. And if you feel like you've capped out, always know there's more to learn. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks again.